Fairly electric at my house.
So we'll call the official portion of the meeting to order. And as I said earlier, the first item, we need to adjust the agenda to deal with our potential new member. So I would entertain a motion if somebody would so like to do that.
We have a membership application from Chautauqua County to fill the one opening that we have in Chautauqua County. And this comes as a recommendation from the county council, and that would be Josh Newark. He's currently a member of Castaic Fire, Chautauqua County EMS, and All-Star EMS. Been in the EMS for 23 years. So I'd make a motion that we accept Josh as a member.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Welcome, Josh. All right, now, to establish quorum, we have a quorum. Moving ahead, you have minutes from the last meeting. Hopefully you've looked those over. Is there a motion to accept those?
Motion to accept the minutes. Second.
All right. Any discussion, any corrections that you're aware of? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Treasurer's report is in front of you. Not in front of me, but in front of you. Oh, there it is.
Motion. Second. We're good. Second. He's good.
Motion, second.
Baker and,
Yep.
Yeah, Baker.
We
Johnson
switched.
this time.
well, that's the only thing I make sure I write down in case we can't, so.
True, I should say that. Questions or comments? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Back to the agenda.
Since you're in a role for voting on things, this was not on the agenda, but it did come up. We need to reappoint Dr. Walters.
Oh, that's under new business.
Oh, it is? You got it?
I wrote
Okay.
it down.
Well, you wrote it down, but it was on the agenda. Okay, we can wait then. I just don't want to forget to do that.
We do need to reappoint Mickey as representative, Todd as alternate, and Dr. Walters as representative to the SEMSCO and CMAC respectively. So if you have a burning desire to take those positions, we will have to entertain nominations, I suppose, to be correct. But you can just be thinking about that as we move.
I nominate Josh Newark.
Let's
Sorry about that.
Okay.
once again, this meeting, we have a guest reader for enforcement notifications. So Laura is going to read those into the minutes for us.
Surrendered effective 3/8/23 for violations of 10 New York CRR Part 800.16A10. Robert Marshall from Jamaica, New York, EMT number 422341. Suspended for 1 year to become effective 6/13/23 and shall not renew upon expiration. Assessed a civil penalty of $2,000 for violation of 10 New York CRR Part 800.16A 1, 2, and 3. Stephen Kirjawa from Wonton, New York, EMT number 28283. Revoked effective 3/13/23 for violations of 10 New York CRR Part 800.3 AK. Anthony Castaro from Castleton, New York, EMT number 469579. Suspended for 1 year effective 3/13/23. Suspension is stayed. Placed on probation for 3 years effective 3/13/23 and assessed a civil penalty of $2,000 for violations of PHL 30121B, D, and F, PHL 3005, 4, and 3006. Also New York, 10 New York CRR Part 800.21 D, F, G, K, L, and N, 800.23 A and E, and 800.24. Patterson Fire Department, number 1 Incorporated, Patterson, New York, agency code 3915. Surrendered effective 3/13/23, assessed a civil penalty of $2,000. This penalty is stayed based on the surrender of certification for violations of 10 New York CRR Part 800.16A8, Brian Reynolds from Rochester, New York. EMT number 262638. Surrendered effective 3/20/23, assessed a civil penalty of $500 for violations of 10 CRR Part 800.3 AP1, Gabriel Oliveras from Staten Island. EMT number 447126. Suspended for 6 months effective 3/22/23. The suspension is stayed. Placed on probation for 3 years effective 3/22/23. Assessed a civil penalty of $2,000 for violations 10 New York CRR Part 800.16A 1, 2, 3, and 9. Brianna Gonzalez from the Bronx. EMT number 506783.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Moving into old business, as you heard in the earlier portion, the Chautauqua County EMS appeal was heard and approved at the state level, so that will be removed from old business. And then I guess you did give an update on the paramedic program. I didn't realize I had that down. Thank you for that. Any other old business that anyone's aware of? Any other old business? Very well, moving to new business. End of year, or end of the fiscal year disbursements, Mickey talked about during her portion of the education committee, and you should have in front of you a paper that looks like,
I don't know if Mickey
did we hand those out? Oh, okay.
you can read, I mean, we can.
Do you have one?
So basically, it was a request for funding to provide education to the future EMS leaders of the southwestern region of New York State. Quickly, the objective is to grow and develop the capacity of future EMS leaders in the southern tier of New York to prepare them to take on leadership roles as effective leaders. This will be done by delivery of Stepping into Leadership Academy, up to 30 participants, 6 hours on communication, the foundation of becoming an effective leader, 4 hours of Stepping into Leadership 1, the foundation of being a leader, 4 hours of Stepping into Leadership 2, along with a 90-minute follow-up session 30 days after completion of program. And their fee is $9,000, which includes preparation, coordination, and all expenses.
How are the students going to be picked for this?
Again, I'm not 100% sure because we don't have the money for it yet, but I would,
Well,
my
my vote kind of
suggestion
depends
was-
on how we pick the students.
right, my suggestion would be to start with sending letters to each agency, asking them if they'll nominate. I've done something similar before and got nothing back. Again, it gets a little disappointing when we try to push things so hard and we don't get anything back. So that's how I would suggest we start. With 30, my goal would probably be 10 for each county as my starting goal. And then if one county tends to be a little stronger than, filling the spots than others, then we would probably just adjust.
I would just ask that we run it by the EMS coordinators once you have a list so that we can assure a more equitable distribution than I've seen in the past.
You know, the other thing we could do is put together a group to review the applications with representation.
Go ahead. And then Alicia actually texted me, which Mickey could probably step into this. We would have, because I didn't realize, we would have $1,049 left over. One of the things that's come up is, in my opinion, we have $90,000 paperweights upstairs. We all got trained to use the simulating mannequins, but that was like the week before COVID hit, and none of us are really good even remembering how to turn it on. Apparently, Jerry Cummins is a trainer for them, and he would be willing to put on some trainings. So possibly just throwing this out, because we talked about it the other day of using that 1,049 to have Jerry do some simulation training on how to use the simulation mannequins. Does that sound right, Mickey? Okay. Huh? Well, we have a maintenance contract for it, so.
I mean, know how to take care of.
Oh, yes. I mean, but we do have a maintenance contract. Someone comes, once a year, they clean it all, they put it all in, they put new body parts on. It's amazing how the arms and stuff get really holy really fast.
Is that the one with like a tablet that you can
Yes.
control?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have one in the county as well.
And do you use it?
No, we
No.
don't
Yeah.
know how to use it.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
That's my point. So you have a $90,000 paperweight too.
Yes.
So maybe, we could bring multiple people.
Yes.
The ones from the Catholics, which I'm going to look into, they actually had a big screen that they put up on the table and they had their little tablet, but it was nice because the students could then see what they were seeing versus on that little tablet. So we're gonna look at getting one of those too. Jerry says they have one of those in Allegheny. So again, I don't know if that'll be enough to get us all going, but I think it would be a kickstart and I think we need to do it because if we have paperweight and you have a paperweight,
And I know that we've talked about getting one in Allegheny County as well,
Jeff?
possibly, so. But we'll open the floor for discussion, motions, and such regarding the budget, end of year budget spending.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we spend allot the $9,000 for the step into leadership for training across the 3 counties. And then get Jerry to do education on our paperweights so that we can all learn how to use them.
By recommendation, you meant motion?
Yes,
Okay, just to clarify.
absolutely.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion?
Change the word paperweight to me.
Make sure that appears like that.
Yeah. I will write that one down. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor of those disbursements, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is taken care of. Thank you. And then, as I said, we need to send notification to the state regarding our representatives and alternates for SEMSCO and CMAC. You're already reporting. And again, that is, for the record, Mickey Fornes, our SEMSCO representative, Todd Reisner, our alternate, and Dr. Walters is our CMAC representative.
You need a motion?
What is your pleasure? Yes, regarding
Motion
that.
for all 3.
Second.
Very well.
all right, who was that?
Bill Johnston.
It's okay.
Is there any
Writing
discussion?
their names.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The 2 of you can't vote. So. Very well. Thank you for your willingness to do that. Thank you for your excellent representation of our
Only 2 more years.
council and
Only 2 more.
only,
And
we should nominate somebody else.
even though it's only a notification, I guess I would like to make sure that we record in the minutes that Savannah's put in for.
Well, let me check that with Alicia, because there's a whole list. They have to go to REMAC for notification, and then I'll have her bring the REMAC notification here. So I don't want to say for sure, because I know Fluvanna's been really good about being a superstar, which I didn't mention. It was Fluvanna, right, Brian? That we're considered the super.
Yes.
So I did want to share, because Don's not here, but he did send an email that Fluvanna, which was not doing so well, approximately a year ago, he said, he went and did their inspection and called them superstars? No.
Shining Star.
Shining
Star.
Star.
And he said it, not only Fluvanna, but a lot of the agencies have really stepped it up. And to have Don say that means a lot to me. So I just wanted to share that with you. He's not here to share it, but
Yeah, I said in another meeting, I think people think that the Bureau will always find something wrong when they come and do inspections or find something to criticize, and we've seen several that have actually, people that have taken the time, made sure everything was in order the way it was supposed to, get actually pretty good reviews and evaluations, and so there are, if you do everything right, it's not that someone will find something wrong, but they will actually recognize what you're doing. I think that's an important message for agencies.
Yeah, and also since we're talking about, we had a new member join Cat County, Nate, is it Chris? Cervani, right? Who actually is willing to help other agencies. And so I thought that was great, you know, because having someone who's been through it, you know, and no offense, knows you guys, doesn't feel as timid, you know, you
Yeah,
get
no,
these
that's
new
awesome. Yeah,
people.
yeah, it's good.
So I don't know, I'm very proud to say that we're an area that I think we were not doing so well and now we're doing
Yeah, no,
better.
and I will say this, you know, there is, I mean, there's agencies that have deficiencies, but we also find agencies that are superb, and those, you know, I wish there was more. If you look at, you know, accreditation standards or you know, those kind of things, and we talked about standards of excellence and those kind of components, which may come down the line, but I think it's important for an agency that does very, very well to be recognized and to show that there are good things. And I think there's always, you got to look at it from a constant improvement standpoint too, that, you know, there's always something that we can be, you know, doing better from an agency perspective or evaluating. I think it's the inspection process drives that home from the perspective of, hey, keep in mind the state sets the minimum standards and the expectation is that the agency should be at a much higher standard, you know, from a standard of care and you know, community relations and all those other components. So, but the minimum stuff, you know, exemplary, definitely from Lana, and that was good to see.
And
Thought I'd share that.
just to kind of add to the Fluviana thing, the person there has been very willing to go out and work with other agencies. And so Tim spent a lot of time the last couple of months working with other agencies. So there are people out there that'll help too. So, you know, anybody that's struggling.
If you could shoot those names to Alicia, because we do get calls like someone's panicked because Don sends us a list of who he's going to for the next 2
Yeah.
months. So we'll send out, here's our nice little packet, let us know, and then they'll call us and go, oh my God, you know. So if you do have someone, and actually I think most of them are actually coming up for Allegheny County and Chautauqua. I think we only had one in Cat County for the next 2 months.
I
so.
think we've got
We've got
probably
quite a
10
few
or
in
11.
Chautauqua County
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah, you two were kind of hit for
If
the
if
next.
people are panicking, I would just send them to me first.
Okay.
And then normally what I do is I get with the 3 or 4 people that I've been leaning on and ask them if they wouldn't mind.
Just if I may, the Bureau, we've got a group of new staff, Lisa being one of them, that we've asked to revise sort of our PowerPoint and our overview of inspection process and give, you know, examples of exemplary and things that need improvement and what to expect, you know, when you're gonna have an inspection. So I can't say when it's going to be rolled out because it's got to go through our EDCC process, which obviously takes time, but the group is given till, I think, May 15th to get it done. It'll probably go up, you know, June or July through EDCC, and then, you know, the fall would be the time that we'd be able to roll it out for, you know, either on Vital Signs Academy or, you know, agency level leadership calls, those kind of things, so, and presentations, so.
I think it would be good for the paramedic program too,
Yeah,
possibly. 'cause,
yeah, very good.
Trying to expose them to different things.
Any other new business?
I think this is a record.
Any other new business?
Maybe it was the new food.
Welcome, Josh.
There you go. If not,
Happy birthday, Bobby.
that's right. We will entertain a motion to adjourn. Bonnie?
Oh, sorry.
All right. We are adjourned. Next meeting, June 7th.
April 8th, 2023. Yeah, April 8th, 2023.
What's that?
Go so far.
I know.